So I just got back in from doing my chores. Billy has another winter day. Not sure why, unless it's just because of our temp. It says it's 13 out, but with wind chill, it's only 2. So I made a decision, because when I went out, I checked all the new babies. And Bluebell, my big blue doe, that was given to me because she was sitting on her babies and killing them. And I seen she was inside her box this morning when I went out, and I already kind of knew in my head that was not good, because when they're feeding them, you can't see their head. They're not sitting with their butt against the back of the box, So I realized that was going on, but I went down anyways, because I always check Haley's first, because she's on that far end where the the little roll-up window does not like to stick, so I got a rake set up against it. She's got some beautiful babies. I think I counted 2 pure white ones, and the rest are broken oranges. Just beautiful. So I have plans to keep at least possibly 2 brokens from her. Miss Haley, no, I already said Haley. Miss Honey, she has some very beautiful babies. She's got a couple one broken that I could see, a few blacks, and a couple whites too. Darius likes to throw whites because his sire was a solid white, red eye, New Zealand. And that's who she is bred to. I plan on to keep one out of there. Maybe there's a steal possibly that's in there that I could keep. I would be happy about that. Then I checked Miss Princess, which I've already got. Belle, she's out of Darius, and I crossed her again with, that's just mainly for pelts and meat out of that batch. But I thought possibly maybe keeping a solid black from there, but she does have a couple whites, so I could even keep a solid white from there, because I don't have any solid whites right now. And then I checked Belle's, and of course they were all dead. I made the executive decision, because I've had her for almost a year now, or I think it's probably been close to a year. I've bred her 6 times. This would be number 7 times, and I've only gotten 2 live litters from her. I've got 2 does from that first litter that she actually took care of, and I've got 2 does from the last litter that she actually took care of. I am very disappointed, but I was already thinking that I was going to do this, because the other doe that came from that same farm that she came from, I ended up butchering too, because she was not a good mom. I'm not going to keep mothers that can't take care of their babies, because all I'm doing is feeding them for what? They're not producing for me, and they're not giving me what I need, so she's on the butchering box for Monday. I'm not even really upset about it. I'm more disappointed that I lost the whole litter, but it was a wake-up call for me to say, look, she's not a good mom. Don't keep her. My really good mothers right now is my Haley line. I've got Miss Pumpkin, who's out of her, who's an amazing mother. I've got Hannah, who did very well on her first litter, but she did not take the second time I bred her, and she's on her 3rd breeding right now, so hopefully she takes. I just think she's just a little on the heavy side possibly, and that could be the reason why. But we'll see if she ends up kindling next month. My Honey line is she's a very amazing mother. I've not had any babies ever not live from her. I've had a couple that bloated, obviously, but that was my own fault for not feeding apple cider vinegar when I should have been doing it, when I know that that works. I've got her daughter out of her, which is magnificent, my steel doe. She's an amazing mother. I've not lost any babies from her. So I know that those two lines I want to keep. My princess line, she's a good mom, but I've had some babies die out of her litters. I'm just not sure if it's just because she just didn't realize it or whatever, but I did lose a baby, like I said, that was very tiny, and I think what happened was it just got smashed because she had a large litter when she was in feeding them. It was very tiny. And Belle, her daughter that I kept from Darius, she was a fantastic mother too. She didn't take the last time that I bred her. And then I bred her again this last time around, so we'll see if she took. Right now, I've got 4 does out of my big blue doe, which is Chloe and Zoe, and they're both very nice mothers. And then I've got 2 solid blues that I've kept back, and I would have to look them up to see when they were born, but I think that they're scheduled to either be bred next month or in March. There's like 3, 4, 5, I think there's 5 of them that'll be scheduled at the same time to all be bred. Trying to think what else. My Blue Diamond, she's a blue doe. She's a fantastic mother. She's a great foster mom. So I definitely want to keep a couple does from her. And I do have one right now, Lavender, who's my broken blue out of Elijah. She's not yet had any babies. I bred her. She had a false pregnancy. She thought she was pregnant, obviously, and then she just didn't have any. I did see her lift this time, so I'm hoping that she will kendall next month, and we'll see how she is as a mother. And then Iris, which is Princess's sister, she's a way better mother than Princess is. So I definitely want to keep a few does from her in my colony, definitely. If I don't keep any more from Princess, it would definitely be from Iris. She's got babies that are on the butchering block for Monday, so I'm thinking about keeping possibly a broken or a solid black. I'm not sure. I did catch the one that was in her litter that got out today. I put it back in there. It's on a smaller type, so I think that's a buck. I'm trying to think of who else I've got. I think that's all my rabbits. I got one more blue doe, which is the sister to Blue Diamond, and her name is Mabel. I have not yet been able to keep a daughter from her. She's the one that her sister right now is raising her 2 whites. This is the first time I've lost a litter from her. I usually just butcher the litter that she has. But we'll see if she kendalls this time around. And if so, she might be just one that I keep just specifically for butchering and not like any babies out of her, like keeping any daughters. We'll have to see how she does on this next kendalling and how she raises her babies. But right now, I can say for sure that it's Haley, my Haley line, which is Pumpkin, Miss P.S., Hannah, my Honey line, which is Honey, Magnificent, and I do have a couple more does that I kept out of this last litter they had, both Honey and Holly, or Honey and Hannah, or sorry, Honey and Haley. I got too many H's. I did keep some does from them, so we'll have some more in our breeding. Billy's still sleeping. He can sleep when he doesn't feel the greatest or just over exhausted, but I think a lot of it's got to do with because he ain't worked a whole lot this month. I think he's worked maybe 2 days out of the week, every week this month, and it's catching up with us. But I'm supposed to know for sure if the person wants that blanket or not, and I've got my bottom row of hides here that I've wetted down, and I'm going to get ready to start stretching them. I don't have a board to put them on, so I think I'm just going to use Elijah's floor in his room for right now and stretch them that way. And I'm just going to do each row at a time and get them stretched, and then I can measure and get them all cut out and then actually start hand sewing. I need to get it done as soon as possible. And then once I get it hand sewed, I'm going to get it the backing that they're requesting. They said they wanted something dark, so I told Billy, I said black, and he says, or gray. So I think gray would actually look really nice on that. And I think maybe that's what I'll go for. I don't know what that's going to cost me, but I figured that I got minimum of $10 in my hides just for raising the rabbit and then fleshing and then putting the waterproofing on it. And then my time for stretching, sewing, and putting the backing on them, I figured is another $10. So what I'm going to probably price everything out at is this $10 a pelt. And then if you got, say, there was 49 pelts on that blanket, so that's $980 is what that would be in total cost. I'm not sure how big the blanket is yet, but I know it'll fit my queen size bed that we have with no problem. It'll have plenty of hangover on each side. So, for instance, like a king size would be about $2,000 because if they have to have 100 pelts, that's what you're going to be looking at. I told the person the price, and I told them that I would like to have a certain amount down, and then if they wanted, they could make payments or just pay when they pick it up or when it's shipped. They are responsible for shipping too. This blanket's going to be pretty heavy. But right now I've got some of the, like I said, the first row here. I've got them wetted on the inside. And they're a lot more, this is what they look like. I had someone ask me what the back side of these pelts look like, and this is what they look like. It's just, and I'm thinking, yeah, these could stretch out a little further, actually. So I'm like, I don't know if I missed that or what. I don't know what that is. Alright, so, but yeah, I gotta get this stretched out, and then it will definitely be a tad bit bigger. Like down here could use a little more. Miss Deanna on the one channel I've been watching. I must have watched her how to make a mink blanket and pillows probably 20 times now, trying to really just pay attention, because she told me to watch that video. And that's very similar, she said, to rabbit, because I guess mink is very thin too, she's saying, thin hide. And definitely. So yeah, that just needed a little more right here. And then you can stretch it. She says you can sew these necks together. It gives you about another 1/2 inch, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see if I can do that or not. But I'll have more hides that I need to flesh come Monday. So we'll have a video on that. I'm actually going to try fleshing them first before salting them. Because usually, like these ones, I've salted all of them. Then I fleshed them. Then I stretched them. I went from there to there. When it came to it, like I got some like skin. But you gotta be careful like pulling some of this off because it'll take it right down to the skin, to the fur. And that's not good. Oh, goodness sakes, some of this is, see, and I just ripped it. I gotta stop messing with it. It's like I've got it down to right where it should be at, but then I feel like these little pieces on it that I think, well, did I just not get it all off? Did I not get it? But I think I have. It's just, and that's no joke. Rabbit hides are very, very, very thin. You'll easily just rip them like as you've seen. And the couple of places that I was told about on Facebook, it's actually where the person contacted me from was off of Facebook. There's some, I had made my post public, and then I had somebody message me saying that she does all kinds of stuff and sells very, very easily. She's like, if you want to sell your blanket fast, she suggested me joining these sites. So I did the two, and sure enough, I had quite a bit of people say, you know, like, I wish we could afford it. Finances are not good, but maybe in the future when you have more available, we'll be financially able to get it. And like, yeah, I totally understand. I'll have many of these. Like I said, I feel like making rabbit blankets is on my mind, like, consistently. Making rabbit blankets, making gloves, making, you know, just everything you could possibly make when it comes to these furs. And I feel like that's exactly what we're supposed to be doing, or I'm supposed to be doing anyways. I can feel like where it's a little thicker at, especially on the belly. You gotta put just a little more on here to really make it. To make it nice, I guess. Softened it up some. This is actually on the left side of the bottom, which is a black. It's getting wet. But yeah, it'll dry eventually. But they're looking pretty darn nice. This is another one, a blue. And it Needs probably a little more right here because that's pretty stiff. I gotta remember how these are going. I did these all before I went out, and she said to wait about 15 minutes or so. It's about as long as you need. But I was outside probably, I don't know, an hour and a half, and these are still pretty wet. They haven't really dried up. So I'm just gonna wet them down some more where I know that they could really use it on the thicker parts. This is actually down by the butt, tail, the rump, and then on the belly, of course. And up here is kind of up where the neck was. And these blues were Blue Diamond's babies. Or not Blue Diamond, but Bluebell's babies, per se. So her hide will be on here in the next blanket, which I'm okay with. That's got a hole in it right there. I got a hole right there I'm going to have to sew because I pulled too much on it, obviously. This is just a little tanning brush, but I wanted, she uses like a shoe shine brush. It's an actual like big shoe shine brush. And I figured because my rabbits aren't, huge, like an adult size rabbit, that I could use something smaller. There's like hardly no water left in here. But I thought I would update you guys on that and kind of just tell you what was going on, my decision, what I'm making, and going from there. Goats all look good today, and still nothing from Pinkie Pie. Like I said, I'm not sure if she already came into heat and I just didn't notice it. I wouldn't have really even noticed the other doe. I can't even think of what her name is now. I forgot. All I can think of is rabbits right now. Names. But, yeah. I just figured she must have already came into heat and I didn't notice it. But we'll see. Some of this is like, I noticed like Bluebell, but Bluebell. These were her babies. They were pretty thick. This one's pretty soft. I think it'll stretch nicely. And you could see the backs of them. This one was a little harder. This is a solid white. Oh man, does that feel a lot softer now. That was definitely soft. Okay, the rest of those feel good. So I might have to wet this one down a little more. That one feels fine. Blue. Trying to remember how it was going. And black. Alright. Let's throw this stuff here away. Oh, and I also was told that I should keep my skulls on my rabbits because people like to buy them, and I actually seen somebody had some rabbit skulls from their Rexes that they had with the ears still on them and the hair still on the skulls, and they wanted like $40 a piece for them. I thought, well, if I can do that too, then might as well keep a few skulls off of some really pretty faced bunnies. Why not, Stay tuned.